guys, it's Brianna, aka Simon Slays. I'm at the skate park and today is my first day trying out skating at the park in quads with jam plugs in. So I took my toe stops out and I'm just gonna try different skills and tricks at the park without toe stops in. Wish me luck. So I took these toe stops off of my quad skates and I put on these jam plugs. You can see the difference here, how much these stick out. And these are not meant to be used as toe stops. You're not supposed to put them down. As you can see, I've already geared up. I've got my helmet, I've got my full gear on. And yeah, I'm just gonna start with some simple things and get comfortable and build up to some of the harder skills without my toe stops in. And the reason I decided to do this was because I wanted to learn how to quad skate, park skate without having toe stops in, and so I can develop the natural skill and muscle and ability and strength to stop without using my toe stops. So that's why I put the jam plugs in, and that's why I'm trying this. It's just to challenge myself and learn a new skill. So I hope you enjoy this. Yeah, it's me being very vulnerable, sharing this with you because it's outside of my comfort zone, but I wanted to challenge myself and share how that process went and answer some of the common questions you might have about doing that switch and what it's like and just show you. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. So the first part of this video, I'm gonna test just like basic skills. So stopping, rolling around the skate park, stopping backwards, those sorts of things without toe stops in. The second half of the video is actual skate park skills and tricks and stuff like that with jam plugs in. So the first section will just be basics, and then we'll get into the tricks.
I geared up fully for all of this just because I know I'm so reliant and used to having my toe stops. I want to be safe. So to start off and warm up, I have a little routine that I'll link above that I do. It's only a minute and I just show you some moves that you can do to warm up. But here I'm just practicing my edging, doing some 180s forwards and backwards, and generally just getting my feet under me and getting comfy on my skates. And here's some lateral movements too. And then I go around and skate pretty fast around these and just around the park, navigating while being aware and mindful that I don't have toe stops in. The first thing that I'm going to practice is how to stop without using my toe stops. So that was a reverse plow, and now I'm practicing this lateral T-stop that I like to do, single leg plow, and a full plow stop with both legs. Also transitioning from backwards skating to a single leg plow stop, and doing a rolling 360, even though that's not a move I'm likely to do because I prefer an actual stop. So next I basically just did some 180s back to back and warmed up with some jumps on flat ground, and then we're good to go.
So one of the things that I've noticed that I want to do, but I keep catching myself, is I didn't notice how much I use my toe stop. Like I put it down and I push like this to boost myself forward. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm putting my foot like a duck walk and pushing off this way to get my momentum. So that's a good tip for if you use your toe stop to kind of push yourself forward like a skateboard. Barbie Patton does that a lot. Instead, just put your foot to the side, don't put your toe stop down, and push like that to get yourself a boost. Another common one is when you're skating backwards and just putting your toe stops down like this. That can, if you have a habit of that, just be aware ahead of times if you switch out from jam plugs from your toe stops and you don't have them anymore. I would say in that case, if you're not going too fast, do the stop that I showed in my 5 stops without toe stops video tutorial, where you're skating backwards and you just do a reverse plow. However, if you're going faster, really what I would do, and this is the question I got the most when I told people like, hey, I'm gonna skate with jam plugs in and not have toe stops at the park. The biggest question I had was like, oh, I would love to do that, or I would try that, I think I could do that, but I wouldn't be able to stop backwards. I don't know how I would stop backwards. So let me show you what I would do to stop, and what I'm doing, what I would do and what I'm doing to stop backwards on quads without toe stops. So if you're skating backwards and you don't have toe stops in and you're wondering how to stop, this is what I would do. I would just do a transition and turn around the other way. A lot of people do this when they're skating in big bowls. You'll notice this. If they're skating backwards, they'll just transition and go front side instead of stopping. So on flat ground, that's what I would do. I would just do a 180. Even if you're in the transition, you can do 180s. You would just have to develop that skill to turn around in 180, no matter what you're skating in the moment. So here, I'll show you what that looks like. And then from that, I would just throw in whatever stop you want, like a plow stop, a single leg plow stop, you know, just any kind of stop that you want to do. And that will kind of help you. And then there's kind of an in-between stop, which I've showed before, that I like to do, where it's kind of like a lateral T-stop, putting the T in front instead of behind. And you can also do a T-stop if you're moving forward and you want to slow down. And the last thing is, you don't necessarily have to stop. You can just, if you're in control of your skates and yourself, you can keep going and keep skating as long as you have somewhere to go. If you don't have somewhere to go, then you're gonna have to find a stop that works for you. And I've shown you a couple examples. Obviously there's more ways to stop, and those are just a few of the ones that I would use and that I'm using, so hope it helps. Oh, I also just realized, because I did it when I was just skating around at the park, you can also just do kind of like a side surf, and that will slow you down because you can use like your inner thigh strength to kind of push into that, and that will slow you down, and you can stop that way too as well. And it also is a great way to like kind of get around. So I practice those, and I'll show you what that looks like as well.
So here I'm doing it from backwards transition into the side stance. I linked a video where I cover side stance step by step if you want to learn how to skate in side stance. Obviously, you can't use your toe stops to walk up to the top of anything, so you have to learn how to get up there without using your toe stops at all. And to do that, even just like a small one like this, you have to start further back and skate really hard at it, which again takes more energy. Without using your toe stops, there's a lot of different ways that you can get speed. I have a short that I linked in the description box you can check out with a couple different ways that I demonstrate how to do that and some tips. But as for going down fakie, without toe stops and learning how to slow down and direct yourself and control your momentum and the speed it gives you, that's something I'm showing you in real time as I figured it out.
So I went like all the way back there. So I still don't know how to like go down without slowing myself down backwards with my toe stops. I'm still learning. I just kind of wrote it out.
The key really for me with going fakie down the ramps and getting speed, directing myself, was honestly just practice.
So when I come down, I have a lot of momentum, and what I'm doing is just staying low, letting my butt direct me and looking behind me. And then when it slows down a little, I'm just opening up and transitioning to go forward. And then I can stop however I want. So now I'm about to go hit the ramps, and basically right now I'm feeling like my main concern is that I do have a bad habit of dragging my toe stop when after I stall, if I go down fakie and I feel like I have too much momentum and I'm not ready for it. It's a bad habit. I've talked about it in my corrective roller skating series, and yeah, it's just like something that I have to break, and it's actually one of the reasons I wanted to switch to jam plugs, because I want to break that habit and just learn to stop without dragging my toe stop, or just embrace the speed and momentum, which is what that's the tip that I give people if they struggle with that. It's a very common thing to struggle with, and it just happens when we feel afraid of the fakie momentum we're getting. And I would definitely see that with not having toe stops to slow yourself down. So basically you have to just choose before you switch out, or when you switch out, that you're going to be embracing the momentum, and maybe make sure you're making a conscious effort to be good in skater stance, getting low, and just know that you're not going to throw that down. That's why I have all my gear, because if I do throw my toe stop down without toe stops on, I want to be fully protected. So if you are going to transition like I am and try it out, just please be safe and wear your protective gear, especially right now. I'm doing it, you can do. So I've made a list on my phone. I'm just going to go through the skills. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to try it and have fun with this, because challenging yourself to learn a new skill is supposed to be fun, and so I'm going to have fun doing this. Wish me luck. So now we're going to pump the ramp without toe stop.
So I wanted to give you a realistic view of what it was like. So this is my first time pumping a ramp with no toe stops in, so I can't use them at all to get speed, and I'm going from 0. So just standing in the middle of the ramp in the flat and pumping my way up the ramp, solely using my body and my strength, which is exactly what I wanted to learn and practice. I always give the advice to pump up all the way in a ramp before dropping in or stalling, especially if it's a new ramp to you or you're going to do something new. So that's why I did that first. And also it's just a good warm up to get your feet under you.
I already realized something that I used my toe stops for at the skate park while I was skating without them and just pumping this ramp was, I use my toe stops to like run up the transition to get speed, and then I hop in the air and I let that give me more momentum to get momentum quicker when I first get on a ramp. But if you don't have toe stops, you can't run up. So instead I had to pump and use my body and my muscles, my strength and my form to build up that speed and pump up. So it was all based on my skill, and I couldn't rely on my toe stops to give me the extra boost. And that's what I want, because that's actually like the purpose of why I'm learning this. So I was really excited that I realized like, oh, I didn't realize how much I use my toe stops to help me when I'm pumping and to quickly get speed. And now I can build that muscle up in my body and in my pumping technique instead. Now we're gonna carve the ramp without toe stops in and see how that is.
As you can see here, I am just rolling straight onto the ramp from the flat into the transition. So that's basically how I get on the ramp without dropping in, just to start practicing the skills in the transition. As you can see here, I'm pumping and practicing those carves with all my wheels down, and we're building up to dropping in. And I'm literally showing you here the reality of starting from zero momentum and pumping your way up to having momentum on the ramp solely through pushing and pumping on the ramp. And as you can see here, I'm pumping all the way up fakie and all the way up until my foot touches the coping. And what I did to slow down from pumping all the way up the ramp was these really slow carves just in the flat until I've slowed down, because I'm not going to drop my toe stop. So that's the way I slowed down and got off the ramp.
So when I'm running out of momentum and I'm going fakie and I want to stop in the ramp after pumping it or carving it, what I did was I just carved and like directed my momentum off the ramp. I didn't stop. I just kept skating until I was off the ramp. Or you can just turn around forwards or backwards and just go a different direction, and that will eventually slow you down. A little curve like this is great for practicing stalls before you actually go on the ramp and do a stall.
I'm mainly focusing on my weight distribution here, so making sure I bend my knees and keep my hips over my feet. I started so far back and just skated straight at the ramp, got both feet on, and then just rode it out fakie.
I've never done it without a toe stop down. I can do it.
You can do it.
I can do it. I have nothing to be scared of. I'm a good skater. I just jinxed myself. I don't know if I'm ready. For 3 years,
Yeah.
and you take it away. I've done this a million times.
I didn't want to leave without dropping in, so I went to this ramp with no coping on it and stepped over and practiced that way. So here I am dropping in without toe stops.
Hey guys, so it got a lot busier at the park, and when it came to doing the drop in without my toe stops on the big ramp that's like 4 or 5 feet tall, I just wasn't comfortable and confident. And I always advise people, if they don't feel like secure or confident in dropping in, like they just feel like inside of them they're, you know, just not feeling it, then don't do it, because that's usually when you do have a hard bail, and you can work up and build up your confidence until you're ready. And I'm not gonna force myself, not even for my own pride. So instead I went to like a smaller ramp that didn't have coping, and really the only thing that was stopping me while I was standing up there, you know, to drop in was like, I know I can do this. Logically, I understand that I'm capable of dropping in, and all I have to do is set my foot to the side and I'll be fine. But it's just so new to me that I wasn't ready today, and that's okay. So take this as a lesson from me in my experience trying something new that's challenging my skill ability, you know, taking away something that I rely on, that I'm used to having when I drop in and doing that skill, that it's okay to listen to yourself and what your body's telling you, and what your brain is saying, you know, and how you feel, because those things are important and you shouldn't just disregard them. So honor how you're feeling that day when you're skating, when you're trying to challenge yourself and learn a new skill or try something new. Yeah, in this video, I'm not dropping in without my toe stops, but I'm determined to learn. I'm not giving up. It just means that today that's not something that's gonna happen, and I've accepted that, and I'm totally fine with it, because I trust that's the best decision for me. So all that to say, I did drop in and practice dropping in, not over the coping coping on a smaller ramp, just so I did drop in. And that went well and kind of built my confidence, and it felt good. So I know I'll work up to doing the bigger ramp with the coping, but just not today. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of my progress of skating at the park as a quad skater without toe stops in, you know, trying to learn how to skate with jam plugs in, then make sure that you follow my skate account on Instagram, Simon_Slays55, and I will be showing more of my progress there because I'm skating every day right now, and trying as much as possible to skate without my toe stops on and wearing jam plugs instead. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you're new to my channel, hello, I'm Brianna. I go by my skate name on this channel, Simon Slays, where I post helpful tips and tutorials and reviews for roller skaters who are looking to progress and just have fun at skating, learn some new skills. I'm here to help you out, and my channel's a resource for you. So feel free to subscribe if you like this video and want to see more like it. Here's the video to watch next, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.